Hello everyone, I will be solving the GearCube Extreme here, and before I start, remember that in the pinned comment there's going to be a link to the solution manual in case you have a better time understanding if you read it. Without further ado, let's start up a scramble. Now that the cube is scrambled, we can start solving it. The first step is to solve the non-geared edges, which we will keep on the middle layer, and all of the centers. So, to solve the middle edges, it's usually only a few moves away. You just match the colors up, and then it should be pretty easy. Next, we have to solve all the corners, and for this step, it's important to note that the center color determines which side it is. So because this center is green, and we have all the other centers correct, this side must be the green side. So we have to put all the green corners on this side. So it's fairly easy to just match up two pieces like this, but when we have to solve the last two pieces, we want to have two pieces here, but these colors do not match. Since we have a piece here, but the colors do match, we want to replace the piece. So I'm going to do that by positioning the other piece down here so that it's diagonal to this piece when I bring it up. And after I position it, I'm going to do L2 or L prime 2 or R2, U2, and then and then the reverse of the first move. And that will position these two so that these are incorrect. Now we want to bring it so that this piece will go up here and then these ones will match. So this step is going to be basically the same. We're going to bring it up, and then we're just going to move it once, and then we're going to bring it back down. And that should have solved all of the corners on this side. So now we're just left with two of the corners on this side. You may have more than two corners on the bottom unsolved, but on this step you can just use the same algorithm for all of them. The algorithm will swap the two gears on the bottom front edge, the two corners on the bottom front edge, which are the front down left and front down right corners. The algorithm is R2U D prime, R2D, R2 U prime, R2 prime U, R2 U prime, R2 prime. And you can see that has swapped both of the corners, and then all of the corners are solved. The next step is to solve all of the edges positions without necessarily caring about the rotations. There's only one algorithm for the first part of this step, which is to bring all of the gears to the correct top or bottom side. So you can see that this blue gear belongs on the blue side. The algorithm that we're going to use to swap gears between sides will swap the front down to front up to back up gears. So if we want a gear to go down, we want to position it at the back. And we also want to position another gear that should go to the other side on the bottom. The algorithm that goes front down and front up to back up is R2U, 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 R2 prime U, R2U, R2U. And then we can reposition the sides, and we can see that all the gears are on the correct side. The next step is to position them. We're going to start by showing the first algorithm to do that. On the top side, we have two gears that just need to switch positions, and the algorithm will swap these two gears, the front up and back up gears, and these two, the front down and back down gears. That algorithm is simply R4U2, R4U2. So now that we have all the gears on this side solved, we can mainly worry about these. The next algorithm I will show you will swap these two gears, so the front up and right up gears, and these two gears, so the front down, and left down gears. You want to position it so that two of the gears that need to be solved that way are positioned on any of those. So to swap these two and these two gears, we're going to do the algorithm R2D, R2U2, R4U2, R2D prime, R2 prime. Now you can see that these two gears have swapped and these two gears have swapped. Now we want to do the same with these two on the bottom. And since we've already messed up these two on the top, we can just do the same algorithm again to solve all of the edges positions. The algorithm is R2D, R2U2, R4U2, R2D prime, R2 prime. Now, since we have all of the edges positions solved, we can worry about flipping the edges. This step is only really necessary if you have these stickers on your GearCube Extreme that are next to the gear that indicate if the edge is flipped. So if you can tell, this edge up here is not flipped because the yellow and green match the centers, but this edge here is flipped because they don't match the centers. There's one algorithm for this step which will flip the front up and front down gears, so it's very convenient. The algorithm is R6U, R6U, R6 prime, U prime, R2, U2, R2 prime, U, R2 prime, U2, R2, U prime, R6 prime, U. And this algorithm is pure, which means you can use setup moves with it to swap, say, the front up and right up corners. However, on this puzzle, we only need to swap the up and down corners because there are equal amount on both sides. So we can position two flip gears at front up and front down and do the algorithm again, which is R6U, R6U, R6 prime, U prime, R2, U2, R2 prime, U, R2 prime, U2, R2, U prime, R6 prime, U. Now we have all of the edges in the correct position and they're all flipped correctly. Now we can worry about rotating the edges. So the algorithm to rotate front down, left up, back up, and right up plus 120 degrees is R2U, R2U, R8 prime, U prime, R2 prime, U prime, R2 prime. Now you can see that it solved these two gears because they needed to be rotated plus 120. So now we just have two gears. This one needs to be rotated plus 120, and this one needs to be rotated also plus 120. To rotate only one gear, we're going to use an algorithm that will rotate the left up gear. To rotate it plus 120 degrees, we're going to do R8, U prime, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, R2, R6, U, R6, U, R6U, R6U. And that will rotate that edge. I have modified the edge so that it needs to be rotated minus 120 degrees. And we're going to position it at the same edge, so the up left edge. And we're just going to do R8 prime, U prime, R6 prime, U prime, R6 prime, U prime, R6 prime, U prime, R6 prime, R2 prime U, R2 prime U, R2 prime U, R2 prime U. And that's how you solve the GearCube Extreme. Thanks for watching.